Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, back into Gary Grigsby's War in the East 2 Dose Double. Great game where this is our current Let's Play against the Soviet AI. And yes, the message did get through, Sarge. I looked up there. Actually, it works out okay. We'll go talk about that. We'll go talk about that certainly. Sarge the Rager is here. Hey, Sarge. David Bartello is here. Hey, Paul. How you doing? Oh, well, I'm glad you're finally back. Where have you been, Paul? You're not allowed to miss general staff meetings, court martial on Paul. Now, I read somewhere, I'm part of a bunch of Facebook groups or whatever having to do with warfare, board game warfare, other kinds of warfare. And I saw that this is the anniversary of the Battle of Agincourt. Uh, but one thing I read about that battle that I guess I just didn't realize, or didn't know, is that the British archers won that battle, right? You had the French chivalry, the knights of the French king, and the British had archers, and they stood away from them and hit them with arrows. Uh, but I didn't realize that most of the British archers that day did not wear pants because they all had dysentery. Uh, no, that I just read this. I don't know if this is true, but it's a reputable site, and they said that most of the British archers had dysentery, did not wear breeches that day, just so they could take care of their business in between shots. Now that's quite a story of warfare. Change world history. Anyway, okay, FM. Back to Case Blue, indeed. Mr. AMMW, Anthony Watson's here. Hello, Anthony. Malcolm Hunt, McCall, Erzbeck, James Norton. My goodness, Nordhammer's here. Yeah. Well, I went and looked up there. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant. Let's talk about the Totenkopf in the room. If we go up to Kalinin now, look at this beautifully constructed salient. As you all pointed out, how beautiful this was. Um, we have put an SS unit here, Totenkopf SSMD. And now what happens sometimes is I get to talking a little bit. I'm sure none of you have noticed that. And when I do, I don't notice things like withdraw 69. Now, if I was still in college, I'd probably make a joke about that. But I will not. Withdraw 69. Well, what turn are we on? We're on 68. And so the one unit on the board I decided to stick in the most important location on the map actually withdraws next turn. Now, I panicked at first when I read back through the comments last time, and then I thought, well, we're on 68. It's our turn at the start of 69. So when this withdraw, it's not going to with withdraw during the Soviet turn. It's going to withdraw at the start of our turn. So when we come back next time, after we do the combat resolution, I don't mean like the next episode, but when we come back for the next turn, Kalinin will be empty, but the Soviets should not be in it. We should still control it. I hope. I hope. That was quite a find. I saw you guys screaming about it in the comments once I went back and looked at them, and I thought, wow, it didn't even occur to me to look at that. Goodness. Goodness gracious. Well, okay. I mean, we'll deal with it. We've been dealing with everything else. We've dealt with the Soviet winter. We've dealt with all kinds of setbacks. And here we are, still fighting on. Still fighting on. Indeed. There's a lot of withdrawal jokes that, given my recent announcement, we could make at this point. Certainly, certainly. Uh, it's funny because I think we actually conceived in Las Vegas, and that sounds like a joke in and of itself. But I'm not gonna go there. The wife doesn't like when I get too personal. Anyway, as you might imagine. Anyway, let's look down here, down the map. I just want to make sure there's nothing else we need to do here. Now, when we look at the situation out here, I'm pushing towards Gomel. I really want to take Gomel. I think we have enough strength to do it. Maybe it's going to take until the frost hits, right? But then we always have that double-edged sword. We're not digging in the best time to dig in, which is during the mud. We're getting to where we want to go during the winter, and then it's a little more difficult to dig in the snow, obviously. But I think it's important enough to get down to Gomel. We're going to keep pushing here. We've got him outnumbered, certainly in this area, and I think we can keep pushing and take Gomel. When we do that, some of these units, some of these cores are going to be going elsewhere, and I need to get them out there as soon as possible. I understand that, and it's starting to look like 1941, where I didn't get things out as fast as I wanted to because I kept seeing the big eyes on the prize, get Moscow, and it ended up putting us in a terrible position, which I mean we've kind of recovered from. I don't want to overstate the case, but we've done okay. Um, but we can't make that mistake now. So in November, once we get to the halfway point of October, really, I'm going to give it about 2 turns to do any kind of push. After that, we're just going to dig in where we are because we can't really get in that situation. Now, I know Nord, you've been talking about attacking during the winter in 1942 because your penalty is not as great during the winter. And I will take that under advisement. There are certain places we'll have to push. I mean, I would love to get back up here to the river. We have got a lot of work to do. Now, luckily, we've got all of our panzers down here, and they're ready to go. They're ready to fire across here. It's just a matter of where. Do we just kind of like, cut the bottom of this out? Do we try to do something more major? Now, I don't know that we have enough panzers and whatnot to hold the Soviets back as they try to retreat back to the Dnieper. So we may have to go through like down here, right? I think that's, probably the best idea is to go down through this area and just try to lop this off, and then we'll kind of, put together what we can from there. I haven't quite decided yet, but that's probably the best idea. We could also attack out of Kryvyi Rog here. I don't think that's a great idea. I've tried to hold. I mean, that's the best word I can use for it. I'm trying to hold here until we can get the panzers moving out here because once they start crossing rail lines, it seems like the AI is programmed anyway to start dropping back if it thinks its rail line is under threat. So we pulled back around this, circular base, I guess, here. We'll see how that goes. I don't like that I just have a light unit here. I'm trying to get these Jaegers back together. This light Jaeger division, or no, it's not a light. Yeah, it is a light Jaeger division. I'm trying to get all that back together. Now, this isn't part of it. This is its own unit. Um, I was I was thinking I should move one of these around here, but then these are both so weak. I don't think that does any good, to be honest with you. We've got Netherlands motorized out here. We could drive this out here and just kind of get in somebody's way. I mean, that's really kind of where we are at this point. Just trying to get in the way a little bit. Um, but where? I was thinking maybe like here. I don't know. Just set him off the shoulder there. He also needs to become part of. We'll just put him in 48th. That's fine. 48th. 48th. There it is. I don't know why I couldn't see that. Whoa. Anyway, okay. Looking around here again, I think we can hold Kryvyi Rog with a Panzer division and two, even though one of these is a Jaeger division, and this is incredibly weak. I mean, 36-31. But I think we can hold that. I could also try to move the motorized up here if I move something out. Potentially, I could move this out. Uh, that might not be a bad idea. I also should put the motorized here, I guess, in 48th. I could, well, 48th. No. Actually, 40. Nope, that's third. Okay, let's put that in third Panzer. Okay. And then let's scoot the command around a little bit, and we'll just stack him with the Arab Special. Speaking of getting pregnant, well, I can't get all of this in command. Which one do I want to? I don't want to say sacrifice. That may be too strong. Um, I guess I will keep it with that, and then Arab Special. Maybe I'll put there. I changed my mind. See, Kalo's going to be mad at me for doing that, but I'm going to bring this around here. That keeps all this in. I hate to not have, to have this unit in Krivy Rogue. Okay, let's undo that. Let's put that back up there. Now, with 5, can he get in there? Well, let's find out. Let's take this really weak unit and just, I don't know, back it up behind Krivy Rogue. Or I could put it with this Panzer Division. That's fine. Can he get up there? No, he can't. So let's put the infantry back in. And then and I could bring him around here, and then I could bring this around here. I think that's what I'll do. I'll just bring this around a little bit. I could even stack these guys together. Maybe that's what I'll do. Let's stack these guys together. Now, there's a little bit of a hole there, so maybe I will put that there and then stack the headquarters with it. Okay, I don't know. I'm just sitting here just messing around really at this point. I'm not sure I bettered the situation. I don't think I made it worse though. Um, nothing really to do here. We've got to start getting around here and just taking out some of these hexes. I get that. Somebody said in the chat that talking about like this air base. Now he doesn't have an air base. He's completely isolated. This is completely isolated as well. I think we can take these next time, but these guys, we got to cut off any of these other Soviet hexes. I don't like this situation out here. I think it's very weak. As a matter of fact, I was tempted to move this over or double stack this. Now, I don't want to get too crazy in this area, but I kind of want to get some of these panzers out of here. Now, that's Hungarian armor. We've got 3 motorized there. I don't have any panzers there. I do here, though, and they're kind of on their own. I think what I'd like to do is move this Panzer Division back and actually move this infantry in. I mean, this hex isn't that important, I don't think. We got Romanian armor, but that's a very weak unit. I could actually maybe stack that with it. Okay, let's do that. That looks better to me. Viking is out here kind of on its lonesome. Yeah, these guys, I would like to do something different, but I'm not sure what to do. I could triple stack them like in this hex and give him a little room to range there, I guess. Or I could move this up here. Tell you what, I'm going to move that with the motorized, and I'm going to bring this down here right on the river, and I'm going to put that there. Now, that does give him a way across the river. I understand that. But he's going to eat up movement points there. We're not using this rail, and honestly, we're not really using this rail. It's not rebuilt. So if he does come across here, I'm not that worried about it. Uh, let's move that there. All right, I'm going to jump down to the comments. Sorry, I've been focused a little bit. Jerry, 1957, huh? Well, I have to tell you, it is my father's birthday today. My dad is my best friend in the world. Great guy. My dad was a stand-up comedian for some time, and if you know from Saturday Night Live, Joe Piscopo, my dad used to do the opening act for Joe Piscopo. No, no kidding. But my dad's been a stand-up comedian and a radio DJ and a lot of other things over the years. But he just turned 65 today. He was born in 1956. But they had me when he was 18. So, believe me, I was a miracle in the summer of 1974. Uh, Back then, people generally didn't have kids at 17 or 18, but uh, my parents did, and thank goodness for my grandparents. I'll tell you that. But yeah, my dad's the best guy in the world. Born in 1956. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Pop. Sometimes he watches. Sometimes he's out building a chicken coop or doing things like that. He likes to work on his land. Uh, yeah, my dad was not Richard Pryor. Newsflash, that would have been interesting. My tinting would have been interesting if my dad was Richard Pryor, indeed. Yeah, my dad's a great guy. Maybe he'll pop up on the stream sometime here. Sometimes he'll come down and visit or whatever. I'll put him up on the stream. You guys would love my dad. He's a great guy. Anyway, okay, back around here. I think we're double, triple stacked, except for Viking here. But if they get through Viking, we've got stuff behind it. Now, I don't like this. I don't like this right here, just south of Stelino. I think it can hold, but I don't like it. We've also got this Panzer Division down here. That could come stack there, or it could come stack there. But I think I'm going to leave it. I want those Panzer divisions to build a little bit if they can, if we can, if they will. How about that? All right, down here. Um, I think we've covered most of this. To be honest with you, I'm looking at this stuff, but I just think we've covered most of it. We don't have enough strategic points to take this off the rail. Not there. That it's good. I think we turned the turn. Is there something I'm forgetting? Let's go back. Oh, there is actually the rail units back here in the center. I knew I was forgetting something. And we've got to take those Luftwaffe. Oh, did I? No, I did already do these. Okay, see, I'm ahead of my game. Ground. We can't take those out yet. Nothing out of the reserves. Okay, let's fly freight because I do know we need to do that. All right, let's get back over here. This is kind of the big overview. You can see the line. Now it's looking like we're bulging here instead of him bulging, but it's really the AI bulging. But we've got to take care of that. Boy, that when you look at it from the the satellite Blue Origin view, that does not look great. But you already knew that. Okay, let's fly freight out here to Stelino if we can. Coming out of Krivy Rug, can I take it out of somewhere else? I don't think so. Krivy Rogue actually doesn't have. What if I took it out of Minsk? Well, there's no way it could reach there from Minsk. Okay, so we're gonna take it out of Krivy Rogue. Let's just do a single mission and launch it. Make sure the Soviet air isn't too condensed. 159. All right, now we can do multiple missions. Let's do that. Then we'll try to fly some up into Kalinin into the lost motorized division. That's so crazy. That's the one division I have in Kalinin. Um, oh, I'm going up to see my dad on Saturday, actually. We're going to head up there. My dad lives up near San Luis Obispo, California. So he's about 2 hours north of me. We're going to go up, check out what he's got going on. Dad's all into sustainable life now. So he's got his chicken coops, his raised bed gardens. He's doing all that stuff. He's like renovating his whole house to be sustainable. Anyway, um, okay, we've flown that out. Let's go up to Kalinin and let's fly into there. We'll be coming out of Valeki Luki. We'll do a single mission first. I always think it's a good idea to do that just to make sure the Soviets don't have enough fighters, If they don't take it out on the first instance, they're probably now not going to send a whole group of fighters. So you can pretty much guarantee. Well, now we lose six, but they sent seven fighters both times. Now we lose five more. My goodness. Okay, see, I spoke too soon. I've got to cross my fingers when I say stuff like that. Okay, good. All right, we've flown that in. We've put things on refit as we went along. I feel comfortable, fairly comfortable with that. Now, Narvaline, nothing to do there. We know that. Not really. I mean, there's things we could do, but that's not a priority at this point. Is there anything we want to move down here? We've got 18th Panzer that's got some movement points, and now, but this infantry is very weak. I think we're going to leave that alone. Totenkopf will be off the map next time, which is really funny to me that all came to be. I don't think there's anything to do down here. Not really. I mean, there's things to do everywhere, but from a priority perspective, I don't think so. We could try to attack in there. I don't love that though. I don't like any of this. Not really. Some of this we could try to cross back over the river and get on the Desna. Now that is a major river. He's got a tank corps here, so if we cross the river there, he could attack us unmolested. Now he can already do that without penalty, is what I probably the way I should say it. Two infantry divisions here against what appears to be the strongest unit he's got in the area. This all looks thrown together because it is. We've got Hungarians on the scene now. Nothing to do there. Oh, hell. Let's turn the turn. All right, let's see what happens. This should be a fun one. I don't know. Hey, what's up, Lucas? How you doing? I figured out that I have a withdrawing unit in Kalinin. Now, would the Germans have actually done that? I mean, possibly. I don't know. Hitler may have said, "Come west. I don't care. Just don't drop back." Just that one unit. Put it on the rails. Sure. Yeah, my fingers are crossed too. All right, let's see. Now, see, we're big Chicago fans. My dad, I grew up south of Chicago, Illinois. We're huge Cubs fans. Cubs, Bears, Blackhawks, Bulls, Michael Jordan. That was my youth watching Michael Jordan a lot. I was naturally a Bulls fan. It's not like I just jumped on the bandwagon or something. I mean, my all of our fandom is in Chicago. Now the Chicago Fire, if you're into MLS, not really. I swear everybody in California is either from Michigan, Ohio, or Illinois. Literally everybody you run into is from somewhere else. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. We got the Soviet air. Hey, Jan. Yep, we found it. We found it. You guys did a great job on the general staff noticing that. I don't know who originally pointed it out. I'd like to give them credit, give them a little shout out. We got some recon there. I saw like lightning strikes happening, so they're doing a little recon. Oh, I did look at our air. I previously, like after the last episode, there was nothing that I thought was in danger of actually getting run over. I know that somebody had brought that up last time, but I didn't think that any of our bombers were in imminent danger anyway. And all of our fighters are in major towns. They're either in D town. I think there are some in Kiev. So I'm talking in the south where we're actually in any kind of danger. Most of those planes were out of the way. So I think we're going to be all right. I'm looking over because my wonderful wife remembered to get my dad a birthday card and was just putting out the gentlemen, that's why you get married. They think of such things. No, you got all get a promotion, Anthony. It's never in vain. Peter noticed 4 episodes ago. Well, I didn't see that. Okay, here come the attacks. We're up here by Stelino. They're attacking directly into the town. Look at that. All right, let's pause that for a second. So we have a level 1 fort in Stelino. Okay, we've got our 3 motorized divisions. They're all under Reinhardt, or they should be. And because of that, we're getting support help here. Okay, the odds were 1 to 123. Igorov is really pushing his luck there. All right, so our raw combat value was 2286. They put it through the blender. It ended up being 1477. His was 245 and goes down to 12. Well, that would lead me to ask, why we lost 1,800 men, but okay. We had 38,000 men. The Soviets had 75,000 men, a lot of artillery. They had us 2 to 1 on artillery. They didn't really bring a lot of AFVs. We've got some armored cars and whatnot that count as AFVs, but they're not really tanks in the motorized divisions. We lost 3 planes, so did he. He lost 666, 9, 66, 69 on the men. That's a really cute card, hon. Good job. Okay. 66. This is a big battle of Stelino, honey. 69, 66, 69, 125 guns. Okay, we lost 82 guns and 1802 on the men. Again, I mean, given these numbers, I'm a little disappointed we lost 1,800 men, but okay, we held. Now he's attacking down here on the river line. This is where I double stacked panzers, and you see the 17th and the 24th. We did not lose one tank in that group. I love it. Romanian cavalry got hit hard. 17,000 men. Igorov here with he looks like something out of like the 17th century. He hit us hard across the river. The Romanian cavalry backs up, but that's fine. They didn't get routed. They just retreated. They're doing their job. I like that. This is to the almost direct west of Stelino as they try to get in here, but we hold again. Looking good. Looking good. He's trying to push across the river. That's fine. We can nutcracker that. All right. So all the action's been in and around Stelino. Now he's trying to attack into the Kalinin salient. He gets stopped there. 3 to 1 losses or so in our favor. And he hits that again. All right. He thinks he's detected a weak spot. I'm not sure if that's true. Holding strong under Gustav Fenn. He's ready to go. 141. They lose 767, 7 and 4. We'll take that. Okay. Again, into the salient. Do we lose any panzers here? We do lose 3. Now we stacked with that really weak infantry unit. Monstein took command. He holds there. He loses 3 panzers. We'll take that for what? 93 planes? My goodness, Soviets. Come on, AI. You're better than that. 27 and 66, 535, 32 on the guns. He brought a lot of air power out of Moscow. It didn't make a difference. I kind of like the way this is shaping up here. It's shaping up better than I had. Oh, that's it. That's all your Soviet attacks this time. Holy cow. That that went really well for us. I should. I should get Dad a Hallmark card with the monocle. Indeed. That would be great. Yeah, how about that attack directly into Stelino with 75,000 men? Once it went all the way through the algorithm, they had a adjusted attack value of like 12. So, and I think what did we? I mean, we were way up in the hundreds. Yeah, when you have 3 motorized divisions sitting in an urban area, you're pretty good. That turn worked out really well. Now, against a human player, I don't think that would have gone nearly as well. Oh, that brings me to an idea. Now, I do want to play XTRG with us as the Soviets. You're going to be my general staff. You're going to help me out. You're not going to cheat by watching his stream uh, for the people that are going to help me. But everybody else, of course, go to XTRG's stream. I love his streams. They're a lot of fun. They're different than mine, but I like them. Um, we're going to play him, but I wouldn't mind doing a little, practice in the ring, kind of a little, sparring match with somebody, at least just the 1941 period. So if somebody wants to take the Germans for 1941, we may start doing that practice now. I'll put it up on the channel, but we may start doing that practice now because the guy that I was playing in Warplan Pacific seems to have left me. Bonsai, where are you? Where are you, Bonsai? I haven't gotten a turn back from him in about 7 days. Now, that happened once before and then he came back, so I haven't completely given up. But if that game goes away, I think I have enough time to either do War in the West, which I can do if you guys want that, or we can play the Soviets against one of you bright gentlemen from the general staff just to get into fighting shape to play XTRG later. Um, I am Ivan Drago. I must break you. Indeed. I'm going to be like Rocky. I'm going to be running with like railroad ties on my shoulders through the snow. Uh, we could play a smaller scenario. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I kind of like that. Uh, okay, we'll think about that one. We'll talk about that. And if one of you guys want to volunteer, if you want to, whatever, we'll figure it out. But I'm afraid Warplan Pacific's going away, which is too bad because that game had just gotten to like the boiling point. All right, we're still in the initiative. I like to see that. We've got 549 points. Look at that. We must have picked up a point up here because we did have 548. Lose initiative at 539. Now it's interesting. I don't know if that means if we go below 539 or if we're on 539. I tend to believe it means below that, right? So 538 would be losing the initiative, but it does say lose the initiative at 539, so maybe not. We better play like we need to have 540 because I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. High water mark 599. Sudden victory 750. We're almost there. Okay, let's see what we got as or that came on the map, if anything. We got the second Luftwaffe Field Corps has come on the map, so we have a little bit of. Oh, look at that! Cool. So we have a little bit of command for all of those Luftwaffe field divisions that are sitting in the reserves that we'll bring on the map this time. We got a new Stug battery into the reserves, okay? We got a new field division, Luftwaffe field division. So where did that go? Oh, right here. Two Luftwaffe field corps. We'll get that onto the map as soon as we can. So those guys have some command. Looks like we get a static division next time. Okay, is that truly static? I don't know. Probably not. We may put this in like Smolensk or something like that, or we could put it in D Town or Z Town, or even Stalino if we have to hold it. We may do something like that. This was the big one. Totenkopf SS is off the map now, and if we go out and look at the map, Kalinin is totally naked. Uh, how funny is that? Just nothing there. There's nothing in there. We have to, make believe we left a garrison behind. Sure. Why not? Okay, let's go look at this. Last turn, we lost 31,222 troops, 392 artillery pieces, 95 on the AFVs, 236 planes. Wow, we took a little bit of a beating on the planes there. On the map, though, because we lost Totenkopf and some other stuff, we're down almost 59,000 men. You can see 118,000 went into the theater boxes. Damn you, theater boxes. Uh, 1,000 guns essentially off the map for us. 49 AFVs, so we replaced like half of what we actually lost. We lost a lot of artillery. Damn it. We replaced a lot of the planes. 216 planes came back on out of the 236 we lost. Soviets, of course, they gained 33,000 men. So, I mean, that was a change of not quite 100,000 men, but, 81,000, no, 91,000 men change there on the map overall. They do lose 213 artillery pieces. They gain 378 AFVs. My understanding is they're starting to put together even more tank corps, probably T-34s in that. Those will be strong units. Planes, they gained 34 on the map. Looking at our logistical situation, we did really bad with supplies. We wanted 48,000 tons. We got 20,000 tons. That's not enough. We did okay with ammunition and men, or guns and men. Tons differential, it says 4814. I don't think that's right. That must be in thousands, right? I mean, that has to be like 48,000 tons differential. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense to me. Okay, units. I mean, we've got 294,000 trucks. They're just taking a long route up the salient and then around to Stelino as well. So it's just killing us there. We've got 44,000 trucks in the depots, 12,000 in the pool, 120,000. This keeps creeping up again. We got down as low as 109,000. Now we're back up to 120,000 trucks under repair. This has to be in thousands, right? It has to be. So this has to be like 40, or I think this has to be 48,000 that were light, because right there is 28,000 that were light, right? We're probably light here, so I think this is in thousands. Okay, sorry, I will go back and read the rule book on that one. We've got 128 understrength divisions at this point, 39 that are unready. That's a lot more than we've had in a while. Let's go look where they are. Okay, I mean, a lot of these up in here are under strength. They're not, unready. A lot of the unready is going to be out here. You can see them in orange. I've got some of them pulled back. A lot of them are Romanian. Some of that is right up here, like south of D-Town. A lot of these Romanians are unready. Okay, interesting to know. Supply alerts, that's going to be the whole damn map. You can see they all, pretty much everything lights up. Um, I mean, ultimately, logistically, we know we're into Narva, Pskov, Veliki Luki. We don't have anything coming up here. Now, what is interesting to me is why a lot of these would be, because we're very close to Smolensk, right? There's Smolensk, duh. But I mean, a lot of these should not be in freight problems. And we probably need to build something smaller, like down here. But why are these units in freight problems? I don't know. This is all coming out of Minsk, so probably that's makes sense. Okay, let's get out of that. Low supply, 124. So it's less than 75%. We've got none at critical. That's good. And we do have 3 isolated units. They must be right down here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, there are isolated units. He pushed beyond us here. God, we got a lot of cleanup to do down there. All right. It is October 11th, 1942. This is Turn Lucky 69. Okay, October 11th. We're deep into the fall now. Soviet partisans, we already knew that. I don't know where we got the point from. We got a point from somewhere, because I think we were at 548. Am I wrong about that? I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that's how it looked. What do we have here? Okay, on the ground, we've got light mud down here to the south. We've got heavy mud, or we've got light mud everywhere in the north. So it's like every other hex in the south, light mud everywhere in the north, and then heavy mud up here in the you know far to the north, the Nordic countries, if you will. Let's go weather in the air. Okay, well, at the start of the turn, it's raining. Now, it is just rain. The heavy rain is to the north, but off our playing map. Let's see at the end of the turn. Okay, here comes the heavy rain. So we are truly in rain season. All right, let's look at overall losses. We're now at 2.557. Okay, 38,000 artillery pieces, almost 39,000, 6.8K on the AFVs. The Soviets are about to push over 9 million men lost from one way or another, 2.69 killed, 4.1 captured, 2.2, let's call it, disabled. So that 4.1 captured, from what I've been seeing, in other people's games or just AARs, whatever, after action reports, this probably needs to be closer to like 4.5 or 5. I mean, if you had this at 5 at this point in the game, you've probably won the game at that point. I think we're in fairly good shape when it comes now to the numbers. We've really changed this in 1942. Obviously, at the end of 1941, somebody can remind me, but I think it was like 1.7 to 4. Well, now we're at 2.5 to 9. So, I mean, we've come a long, long ways. Not perfect. We didn't have a great 1941 for all kinds of reasons you guys know about. You've watched them all. But we've done a lot better. We're about to push over 9 million men, 138,000 artillery pieces. How do you even make that much artillery? That's a question. Or 35.5K AFVs, but they have. We're almost pushing that to 5.5 to 1 or so on the AFVs. On the guns, we're about 4 or 5 to 1. On the men, what do you want to call that? 3.5 to 1, something like that. Okay. Uh, Charts. Let's look at charts. Manpower losses. Now he's down here. We have, this was the big surrounding turns. Now he's down here. We stayed incredibly consistent with the number of men we've lost. We actually didn't lose that many men last time. It was up here around 32,000. This 16 is just what's rubbed at the start of this turn. Gun losses. All right, 1756. This is all coming down, right? We're not surrounding as many troops. AFV losses. Again, we're not surrounding as much, so we don't have as many losses. This is really evened up. The Soviets are getting better aircraft. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And so this is evened up a little bit through Lend-Lease and just by building, they're getting better aircraft now. Mapmen, let's go check it out. Mapmen, ooh, these are heading the wrong direction. It's like a gator mouth. They're 3.65, 4.61, but let's go look at the manpower pool. Okay, he's still pulling from the manpower a little bit. We got to get some more stuff surrounded. We've got an 80,000 advantage there, but where's Mapman? There it is. He has now got a million man advantage here, essentially. When we, talk about the pool, it's about a 900,000 man advantage. Got to look out. Map guns, 47,000 to 33,000. We lost a lot of guns when some of that stuff pulled off the map last time. When we bring those Luftwaffe field divisions on, though, I think we will, just looking at the numbers, we will pop back up here to about 3.8, I think, 3.85, something like that. So we'll see. This is not good. That's a wrecked 6.874. We're at 2.7. So 6.8, 2.7 on the AFV is that's not great. Aircraft, we're still at parity essentially. Okay. If we look at our air units and where they're stationed, you can see we've got a bomber regiment that's kind of in this area. Now, I hope to push some of this back. Now, he did not get on this rail line. Thank goodness he did not, or all of this would have been out of freight. We got to knock this stuff back that's getting close to this rail line. But you can see where our air divisions or our air groups and units are. Nothing is under direct threat. Not really. I mean, he's sort of threatening a breakthrough here, but I think we can deal with that. KG3, KG4, dive bombers, Stukas. He didn't even attack the Hungarians, which I find kind of weird. Fighters here. Fighters. Okay, so I think all of our air is fine. Let's look at directives. We have no recon going there. Oh, by the way, so I'm going to go ahead and just go through the air directives. Was there anything else people wanted to see? I always try to go through, what I find interesting, but yeah, we're heading to Argentina indeed. As we collapse back to the Sea of Azov, jump on the next flight to Argentina. Oh, I get a para division back, Nord. Turn 72. Okay, we are going to do a para drop. I don't care where it is. Hell, I may just try to para drop it into Stalingrad if we have that much range, just to see what happens. Actually, I should probably try to drop it into Krasnodar. They probably don't have anything there. Um, yeah, let's go look at the big picture really quickly. I see you guys kind of talking about where we stand. I think we can take this out and get these Romanians up here. Not that that's going to make, a massive difference, but we can get them there. These look like weak units up here by Solino. I think we can just kind of scuff a lot of these back. That's a new terminology. Just, smoke them back a little bit, then boot scoop bookies somewhere. So I think we can clear some of this out. Uh, I also want to try to push up here to the river because it looks like we've got to try to hold Stalino. Because if we look down here, the Soviets are starting. Well, this doesn't look that strong. Maybe we can get the Italian. Oh, look at that mech unit, though. I hate those son of a guns. I'm going to use those to completely wreck XTRG, these mechanized units. Uh, they're just deadly. But anyway, we'll get the Italians down here. We also have a really strong Italian mountain division that can get down here. We'll start pushing on this with the Italians. The reason I'm doing that is not some brilliant grand strategy. It's because I want to draw him this way so we can then take the our couple of good German divisions and the Romanians and swoop around here to Krasnodar and Maikop. Really Krasnodar. We've got to take that in the next 3 or 4 turns, I feel like, because holding Stalino and Kalinin doesn't seem like a sure thing, certainly. There is a lot of rain out here, though. Huge problem. So, anyway, the Italians are coming through there. Okay. Up here, this is going to hold. We have 3 motorized divisions here. There's nothing the Soviets have that are going to beat 3 German motorized divisions. So I'm not that worried about that. Hey, wait a minute. Does Viking withdraw? No. Do any of these guys withdraw? No, thank God. I've got them on refit, so they're not the strongest. They cannot refit next to Soviet units. Keep that in mind. As we come around here, I think we can push back. We probably have enough strength with the motorized and whatnot to kind of push to this river. And then we can almost have a straight line across here, I hope. Now, we've got Romanians down here, which is a huge problem, but I'm hoping we get enough of them up here that it becomes less of a problem. It doesn't look like the Soviets are focusing on that. If we were playing XTRG with this setup, we would be pushing right here like crazy. Romanian cavalry, I mean, come on. Uh, Down the line we go. Now, Krivy Rogue is under pressure. It's under more than pressure. We've got to beat this back. Now, this looks really weak. 5,100 men. So we've got to get some kind of motorized down here to help it. We can also try to smoke some of this back, but we got to figure out where we want to go through. I've got a lot of armor, kind of in this area, but most of it's up here. So where do we go? I don't know. I haven't looked at the map long enough. I think right across here, and we just give it a crew cut, right? We give it a little buzz cut across here. Hell, that's 20 divisions we may trap back here. We've got to do something because this is not sustainable. I'm even considering moving some Italian divisions back here. As we move around, I think this is all okay. Kiev is not really under much danger. He's now pulled back just a little bit. I would love to get up the Desna River, but realistically, I think all I'm going to do is go to the Dnieper for the winter up to Gomel. All right. So we'll push out and then we'll put the Hungarians behind the river here from Gomel to Kiev. This is where all the Hungarians will go. They can have gypsy parties. Now then, up here with the Germans, I want to swoop around. I want to take Gomel. Where do the Germans line up? Well, hell, I don't know. We're probably best to be back on the Dnieper, honestly, but I may try to get out here a little bit. A little bit. I haven't figured out. It all depends how much the Soviets bring here because we may have to try to hold Kalinin. We got to move that in there, boys. My goodness, how crazy is that? Around the way, I don't know. The Finns have been holding well. They're all in level 3 forts here. I'm probably not going to try to do too much. We'll probably nutcracker right there. We'll scooch. We'll try to get some of this up. I haven't figured all this out yet. Who knows if I ever will? It's smothered in secret sauce. What I do up there. All right, I'm going to call this an episode. We will get going next time. Now, that will not be tomorrow. I'm going to Los Angeles with my wife tomorrow, the City of Angels. Um, we got a little outing that we're going to down there, a little date. Hey, look on. I thought you said you were already pregnant. We are. But we're going on a little date. So I will not be around tomorrow. But Thursday, we're going to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and a lot about this game will be decided over those 4 episodes. That is can't miss television, my guys. And hey, we're up to 3.94K subscribers, 3,941, I think, something like that. So the monocle is getting ordered. The monocle will arrive when we hit 4,000. The monocle goes on the next episode. I don't care which episode it is. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. Doesn't mean you have to do anything. Doesn't cost anything. Just means you get alerted when I come on. That's how it's supposed to work. Although I've been told sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, you guys are the best. Happy birthday, Pop, if you're watching. I love you, my man. All right.